So it is Scoliosis Awareness Month, and I probably should have made a video earlier, but I mean, I'll be totally honest, like, in terms of school, I had finals, and my health was just kind of a mess. I haven't been feeling great lately, so I've been kind of avoiding the internet. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm on it all the time, but I'm actually not doing anything productive with it. Anyway, I got my orthodontic braces off today, and it's actually kind of ironic because I'm going to the scoliosis convention in Long Island over the weekend. I had actually gotten them pink and green, the rubber bands, so they'd be ready for the convention, and then my orthodontist was just like, "You're getting them off next week," and I'm just like, "Okay, I guess, I'm happy to get them off, even if I have to show up at that darn convention without my lovely colors." Anyway, so a lot of you guys are always worried about taking your brace to summer camp or a sleepover or just doing activities in general with it. So I've done a lot of things while I was wearing my brace. I have gone to summer camp, I have gone to sleepovers. In fact, I'm going to one tonight and I will have to bring my brace even though I'm only wearing my brace at night now. Um, and I don't know, I just thought I'd talk about this really quickly. So I did a couple plays in my back brace. I did Jesus Christ Superstar, and I remember that being really insane. Just, I loved that show, and the adults in the show. Doing shows with adults was just a lot easier than doing shows with kids because adults were like much more accepting of it. I remember for sometimes I wouldn't have time to take off my brace, and also the theater was a drive, so if I wasn't wearing my brace, I'd be losing an hour of brace time, and I needed all those hours because, my curve is pretty big. So at that time, I remember having to wear it in the car, and then I would go to my dressing room, get it off, and then put on my costumes, and I don't know. No one really cared about it in that one. I remember being in Arsenic and Old Lace. It was a radio production, and having my brace off backstage. And we went to after we recorded it, we went to a cast party, and I put my brace on over the dress that I had been wearing and put a t-shirt on. And I remember people thinking that was a little weird. Camp and sleepovers, because camp is coming up and people go to sleepovers. So going to summer camp with a back brace. I made a video on this last year, so watch that. I'll link it in the description. So it's kind of scary, I'll admit. I remember just being at camp and like wondering, true story, my first crush was at camp, so you can see how scoliosis affected that. He actually liked me though, so it was a happily ever after story. Maybe I'll tell that story sometime. Anyway, so you will have some activities that you're not going to be able to wear your brace for, like certain sports. Swimming, don't wear your brace swimming. Oh my god, my hair keeps flying in my face and it's like so itchy. Don't wear your brace for swimming. I mean, why would that sounds like you would drown. So I remember my cabin mates, we would get up in the morning, and if we were running late, we'd always oversleep. My cabin mates would just help me get it on and off. And I just remember if I had to take it off for an activity, I'd like, quietly just kind of excuse myself, go off into a corner, or like just find a place where I wasn't like in the middle of everything, just take my brace off, leave it somewhere, and everybody kind of knew it was my brace. Like I was the kid with the brace without being the kid with the brace, so like everybody knew me for who I was, and they knew that part of who I was the brace. Sleepovers were a little different. I avoided sleepovers for a really long time because I did not want to be wearing a back brace during them. Um, and I don't know, when I started going to sleepovers, and I was just like, well, I was missing out on a lot, and I just could have gone to these sleepovers. Like, my friends know that I have scoliosis now. They did not always, like, prior to being 13-ish, my friends did not know that I had scoliosis, so I would not really want to go and do things with them that would require exposing my brace. So, I would I just avoided sleepovers. I remember like I went to a couple and I would leave my brace at home, but then I would just get really anxious about it, and it was very hard for me to sleep on the floor. I would just say if you have one of those little air mattress things, see if you can bring one of them. But if anybody asks why you have one, you can just be like, I have to wear I, this thing. It's stuck in my bag. Uh, and no one's going to question you because honestly, they wouldn't want to be in a position of sleeping in the floor while wearing an uncomfortable medieval harness that it becomes comfortable after a while to you, but it's, So, yeah, I avoided sleepovers. Now I don't, and I'm excited for this one, and I just have to remember to make sure that I wear it. I know it's tempting when you're away from home to just leave it in your bag or to, stick it in your closet and pretend you took it with you. But honestly, like, I know you know how teachers always say if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. Well, kind of if you're cheating on your brace hours, you really are only hurting yourself. Like your parents don't want to make you wear a brace for the sake of wearing a brace. They're having you wear a brace because you have scoliosis and you have to wear one. So I know it can be scary, but if your friends are decent people, like they're really not going to stop being your friends because you have scoliosis. And I know it can be hard when people are jerks to you about scoliosis or don't understand it, but really, people that are going to be jerks to you are not worth your time, and if you can't go to somebody's sleepover because you're afraid they're going to make fun of you for having a back brace, you should probably rethink that friendship in the first place. And one last thing on summer camp. We went on these campouts, which would be like things where you went and slept in the woods overnight, and you cooked out over a fire. They were totally optional, and they had maybe like 10 kids go on each one. I don't go on those because sleeping on the ground is uncomfortable and I want to avoid it as much as possible. So just think about what you can and can't do in your brace. Just make the most of wherever you're going, brace or no brace. Like camp and sleepovers, when I was wearing my brace and when I'm not wearing my brace, I have memories from both, and it's just gonna be something scoliosis you have to live with, especially if you're young and if you're in the beginning of treatment. It's gonna be hard, but you'll get used to it, you'll learn to live your life with it, and it won't stop you from doing all these fun things, and it will be different from your friends, but it'll still be fun, and sometimes it's even more fun to realize that, hey, I have friends, and my friends are good people because they're not total jerks about my scoliosis. So yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions or video requests, please leave them in the comments. I will be sure to get back to you. Have an amazing rest of Scoliosis Awareness Month, and I hope to see some of you at the convention in Long Island this weekend. If not, we're internet friends. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys later, and have a really awesome day.